Raise hail, fam. Listen to this, because what happened yesterday in Commander's World caught absolutely everybody off guard. Aiyuk-Daniels told Brandon Aiyuk, straight up, no cushion, enjoy your retirement. 3 words. He deleted it 5 minutes later, but you know how this goes, bro. The internet never forgets anything. In a minute, I am going to tell you why that line is not just some random insult. It is the clearest signal we have gotten that this signing was already dead before it was even born. After that, I have got something that genuinely has me smiling like an idiot. Bleacher Report just named a player from our secondary the most promising piece on the entire roster. And listen, I doubted it too when I read it, but the numbers back up every word. And we close with 3 veterans walking into training camp with a knife between their teeth, literally fighting for their spot. Full send, let us get into it. Okay, chronological order, because some of you missed half the movie, and I need you to have the full context before I give you my read. July 4th, a Niners fan walks up to Aiyuk-Daniels with his phone recording and yells an insult aimed at Brandon Aiyuk. Daniels laughs. That is it. Keeps walking. And that moment, that 3-second laugh, ended up being the fuse for everything that came after, because Aiyuk saw the clip and felt like his brother from Arizona State left him hanging out there alone. So he did what Aiyuk always does. Grabbed the phone, posted a video calling Daniels out directly by his number, 5, telling him that as soon as they are teammates, 5 is going to want to lay down rules, but he is already a grown man. And here's the part that set everything on fire. Keep it a buck. He told him he would have to start running behind his mother before he would believe anything Daniels says. Listen closely here, because this is not just some other jab. Everybody who follows Daniels knows his relationship with his mom is sacred. She is his agent. She travels with him. She is at every big press conference. Going there is not playing dirty. That is crossing a line his own teammates would not even step near. And he did not stop. Another post tagged Daniels directly, told him to show his wild side. And a third one, complete 180, told him something like, let us get it. 5, I need you available all season. I will do the same. Same day. From insulting his mother to asking to play together in Washington. That emotional roller coaster, and I am not saying this with cheap sarcasm, I am saying it with real concern, tells me everything I need to know about where this guy's head is right now. Daniels' response was surgical. According to Grant Cohn, who has covered the Niners since 2011, Daniels posted a picture of Kevin Durant giving 2 thumbs down to his Instagram story. No caption. And then, according to reporter Joe Rutland, he went for the jugular. Posted and deleted within minutes the enjoy your retirement pal message I already mentioned. 3 words that carry more weight than a full paragraph of analysis. Now my read, and this is where I put my name on it. Grant Cohn wrote something I mostly agree with. Aiyuk went radioactive, and not just for the Niners, radioactive for any team, full stop. Or actually, I am not supposed to say that word, let me put it this way, radioactive across the board. This guy has spent months acting erratic, videos calling the San Francisco front office fools, demanding out, and all of that was still manageable for a team that needs a receiver of his level. But insulting the mother of the quarterback you supposedly want as a teammate, that is a different level of self-sabotage, bro. And here's the thing, George Kittle, his former teammate, told a Commanders fan who asked him what to expect from Aiyuk if he signed here, good luck with that. Kittle shared a locker room with him for years. That comment carries more weight than 100 opinion columns. And here is the piece that really changes things for us as a Commanders community. Before all this circus, the only real logic for Washington getting into the Aiyuk business was precisely because his best friend, his college brother, was going to be his quarterback. That was the entire pitch. Yes, undeniable talent. Yes, complicated history, but Daniels keeps him in check. If that relationship is broken, what is left? Nothing. Zero real justification to wade into that mess. Now, one layer I have to mention with full honesty, because not everything points the same direction. Insider Benjamin Albright floated the theory that this is all a show, an act between 2 friends who know exactly what they are doing. Look, I have no way to confirm that, and I am not treating it as fact. But Grant Cohn, who has followed him closely for years, said he finds it hard to believe Aiyuk is capable of pulling off something that calculated, because in his view, Aiyuk plays with his heart, not his head. I lean that way too. If this were theater, why risk the relationship with the guy's mom? That is not a risk you take while performing. Let us talk numbers, because context matters here. Aiyuk signed a 4-year, $120 million extension with San Francisco in August 2024. A month later, he tore his ACL, his MCL, and his meniscus in his right knee. He barely played in 2024, 24 catches, 374 yards, 0 touchdowns before the injury. When he did not show up for rehab, the Niners voided his remaining guaranteed money. In December, they put him on the reserve left squad list. General manager John Lynch already said publicly he has no future there. But before the injury, this guy was top 5 at his position in the league. In 2023, 75 catches, 1,342 yards, 7 touchdowns, a season that helped San Francisco reach the Super Bowl. Career totals, all with the Niners, 294 catches, 4,305 yards, 27 touchdowns. The talent was never the question. The head always was, and this week gave us the clearest answer yet. On Daniel's side, real context too, because I do not want this to sound like Jayden is untouchable. His rookie season in 2024 was out of this world. 17 games, 3,568 yards, 25 touchdowns, 9 interceptions, Pro Bowl. But 2025, the injuries ate him alive. Dislocated left elbow against Seattle, left knee issues, right wrist sprain. Only 7 games played, 1,262 yards, 8 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, while Marcus Mariota held the offense together. Per Pro Football Network's quarterback impact metric, Daniels closed at 72.3, not a number that screams total dominance. It is the number of an elite quarterback trying to stay on his feet. My conclusion, no filter. Aiyuk disqualified himself. Not Adam Peters saying it, not some inside source confirming it, just plain logic. This signing depended 100% on a relationship that today is, at minimum, badly damaged. If I were sitting in Adam Peters' chair and I try to think like a front office every time I break this stuff down, I am not risking a receiver with a serious injury history, a voided guaranteed contract, and now a public conflict with my franchise quarterback, right when that quarterback needs stability, not drama heading into year 3. The risk beats the reward by a landslide, and honestly, fam, after watching this play out, I do not know if I even want him here anymore. I needed that topic change. For real. After all that Instagram drama, let us talk real football about a player who has me with an energy I have not felt in a while. Trey Amos. Bleacher Report through Christopher Knox dropped its list of the most promising building blocks for every team in the league, and guess who represents Washington? Not Daniels, he is already an established piece. It is Trey Amos, second-year cornerback out of Ole Miss from the 2025 draft. And I want you to understand why this pick makes sense. Because on the surface, you would ask how a guy who ended his rookie year injured with an opposing passer rating of 104.6 can be the most promising piece on the entire roster. Here's the context most people skip. Washington had the worst defense in the league last season, ranked 32nd out of 32. In this offseason, they added a massive amount of reinforcement to that unit. When Knox says Amos should soon entrench himself as a star in the secondary, he is not throwing that out casually. He is saying it knowing Amos will be surrounded by better talent under a brand new defensive coordinator, Durante Jones, who specializes specifically in secondary work, disguise, coverage shells, the kind of technical detail that separates a good corner from an elite one. That combination, better roster plus specialized coaching, is exactly what turns flashes of talent into real consistency. And speaking of flashes, let us get into the actual Pro Football Focus numbers, because this is the real backup behind the hype. Bradley Locker of PFF named Amos to his all-breakout team for 2026, and the stats are telling. He started 8 of 10 games as a rookie before fracturing his fibula in Week 10 against Detroit. He closed with an overall grade of 55.8 and a coverage grade of 58.8, which sounds mediocre until you look at the game-by-game breakdown. In 5 of those 10 games, he posted a coverage grade of at least 68.5. That means when he was healthy, the level was real, not a fluke. His lockdown rate was 51.43%, ranked 26th among all cornerbacks in the league as a rookie. And he broke up 17.6% of the passes thrown his way. For a first-year player, that is outstanding in any serious advanced analysis. Historical context, because the real magnitude hits hard here. Washington has not had a Pro Bowl corner since D'Angelo Hall back in 2010. No All-Pro corner since Darrell Green in 1991. 35 years, fam. If Amos delivers even half of what the advanced metrics suggest, we are talking about breaking a historic drought at a position this franchise has been dragging around unresolved for as long as I can remember as a fan. The path here was not a straight line, and I like telling this part. He played at 3 colleges in 5 seasons, started at Louisiana outside the Power 4 conferences, spent a season at Alabama in 2023, and closed it out at Ole Miss, where he was named All-SEC with 50 tackles, 13 pass deflections, 4 tackles for loss, 3 interceptions. At the Combine, he ran a 4.43 in the 40-yard dash, a time that confirmed the first-round buzz. Brent Sobleski of Bleacher Report called him one of the best value picks of the entire 2025 draft, describing him as a physical, 6'1", 195-pound press corner ready to start day 1. Washington took him at pick 61. And here is the real concern, because I do not want to sell you only the pretty part. He fractured his fibula in week 10, and as of today, Washington has not given a clear recovery timeline. He was at mandatory minicamp only observing from the sideline. No drills. That is worth watching closely, not panicking about, but watching for real. A well-healed fracture should not touch long-term explosiveness, but the timing of his return to camp is going to tell us a lot. My personal take, and here I am putting my full opinion on the line. If Amos shows up healthy at camp and the leap PFF is suggesting translates on the field under Durante Jones's scheme, this franchise is sitting on its first truly elite corner in more than 3 decades. And that, fam, is an identity story for the entire secondary, not a random stat. I am closing with something that does not make a flashy headline, but that I, as a fan who breaks this stuff down all year, find fascinating. 3 veterans Adam Peters brought in with a clear role, who now, thanks to the very depth Peters kept building, find themselves fighting for their jobs before camp even opens. Jerome Ford first, signed out of Cleveland with a clear role, versatile back, more than 2,100 scrimmage yards, 12 touchdowns across 57 career games. Made perfect sense back in March. But then, Washington used a 6th-round pick on Katron Allen and signed undrafted free agent Robert Henry Jr. The real problem for Ford, being competent, is not enough anymore. He has to make his role feel necessary in pass protection or special teams, or he becomes the hardest number on the roster to justify. Van Jefferson is different, and I will be honest, this one gives me mixed feelings. 6 years in, 2,226 receiving yards, 13 touchdowns for his career. Dan Quinn already showed he likes what he sees, brought him up directly at minicamp, called him an excellent route runner, but roster geometry does not forgive. Behind Terry McLaurin, that room is stacked. Luke McCaffrey and Jalen Lane need every rep given the draft capital invested in them. Diami Brown wants to reestablish himself as a vertical threat. Treylon Burks is pushing too. Jefferson turns 30 on July 26th. Classic veteran moment, earn Daniels' trust fast, or you are out. And Nick Bellore, to me the most human case of the 3, linebacker by trade, but let us be honest, his real value has always been special teams. 2 Pro Bowls for that specific work, most recently in 2023, and in 1 season he led the entire league in special teams tackles without even being on a roster until week 1 that year. That level of usefulness, any coach signs it without thinking twice. The problem is that at 37, with Jordan Magee and Kane Madrano building their own special teams case, and with Sonny Styles already viewed as the future of the position, Bellore is not just racing the calendar anymore. He is racing younger guys trying to take the exact job that kept him in this league all these years. What strikes me most about this, and this is my own read, not the sources, is the real message about Adam Peters' philosophy. This is no longer a roster that just needs guys who belong at camp. This is a roster demanding people who can hold a defined role for a full season. The one-dimensional guy, the back who only runs, the receiver with one specific route tree, the linebacker who only covers kicks, gets a lot more suspect once the roster numbers get tight. And that, fam, is exactly the sign of an organization that stopped rebuilding and started competing for real. And with that, I am wrapping this up, but let me say one more thing first. In a single day, we got a feud that probably killed any real chance of seeing Aiyuk in burgundy and gold, a defensive gem that could break a 35-year drought at corner, and 3 veterans literally fighting for their spot before camp starts. This franchise, with a healthy Daniels, with Amos taking shape, and with Peters building real depth, has everything it needs to take the jump this season, and if this does not have you hyped like it has me, I do not know what else I need to show you. If you made it this far, hit the like, subscribe, and tell me in the comments, does Aiyuk still have a path back to Washington, or is this over for good? Raise hail. See you in the next one.